All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Fluence, human being, American, and YouTube Roman. I'd like to welcome you to this week's edition of Coming Attractions. First off, I want to say hello to everyone currently joining us on X and the Green Machine, better known as Rumble. I'm going to say hello to some people who are joining us here in the chat. Faithful Blue Wrench, channel member, the third woman of YouTube. Watch out for her channel, Fluff Check Productions. It's Lonnie Clary. FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Host of Geeky Geezers. Co-host of Friday Night Last Call and Live Wooden 21, Aged Boomer, the one and only, the man himself. Justice for Flappy. Applause to our resident Klingon Mark Malnikoff. Joining us from Lizzie Armstrong. Boomer says Evil Dead is the greatest movie trilogy. Can't argue with that. And yes, for those of you watching on Rumble, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, please subscribe here as well. Memberships are available. Blue Wrench channel member, the tired midnight blogger, the voice of Northern Oklahoma, Curtis Selby. Joining us, long time no see, the lovely Sherry. Curtis's second channel, nothing to see here, citizen. And yes, please subscribe to Curtis's new channel. Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Good to see you, sir. Channel member JPRPH1 in the house. My partner in crime, the toxic gunslinger, the man who cannot be killed, host and creator of Action Theater every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, and Western Cinema Presents every Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. Outlaw Bill. Don't forget to say hello on Rumble. There's the link. Say hello. All right, well, it's the show. Good night. Thank you all. Just kidding. Nope, on with the show. All right. It's good to see everybody. Hello to Curtis. Right. Show that indeed. One of these days, I'm going to do a show. It's going to just all be saying hello to people, and then that's it. Show's over. Nothing to see here. Good night. All right. What are we talking about? Asks Boomer. Okay. Well, answer Boomer's question. And for those of you who may be new to this broadcast, this is a show that I do every Thursday night. I used to. It's been under a couple of different iterations. At one point, I called it the pregame show. I used to do these little shorts every time I would go, right before I would make an appearance, or every time that I would be about to do a live stream like this one. I would shoot like these little short videos to let everybody know that I was going to be on. And then it kind of hit me, well, why don't you just do that as like a weekly show? And that's where I came up with the idea of the weekend update. Then, that went well. I had the same group of people here in the chat, most of whom are here now, along with some new faces. And I decided that I wanted to kind of revamp the channel, a little bit of a rebranding. And so the weekend update became Coming Attractions. And this is my opportunity to touch base with my loyal subscribers, currently standing at 5,116. So thank you all very much for continuing to support my channel, and welcome to the new people who have subscribed in the last week. There are a few new people, so glad to have you here. I hope that you enjoy the show, and I hope that you're here listening tonight. All right, so it's my chance to touch base with my loyal subscribers. A lot of my channel members are here too tonight. Hopefully, there'll be a couple more before the end of the show. And since we're also simulcasting over here on the Green Machine as well, hopefully some new subscribers there, because I want to. I do want to be on multiple platforms. Hello to she of the smoldering avatar. There's Network. And Sherry says, that's awesome. So happy to see your channel grow. Well, I've been very lucky, and getting the word out, and just slowly but surely, getting more eyes on my channel, which is something that we all want. Okay. Well, here, for those of you who are not necessarily familiar with StreamYard, we got a new little doohickey here, which allows us to put our the chat stream up on the page. As you can see, I can load that up right here. It says, I want those eyeballs. Absolutely. Curtis has a new channel called Nothing to See Here Citizen. Please, and Curtis, you have a wrench. Please, those of you who have wrenches, now is the time, since we do have a few more eyes on us than usual for this broadcast. Please put your channel links into the chat. All right, now we get to the main crux of the show, where I let everyone know what I have coming up both on my channel and others that I make appearances on. So I'm going to head on over to my page here, hit the hitting the live stream here. I'm going to share the screen out, and I'm going to show you what I have coming up here for the next week or so here on my channel. Of course, I have the shows that I've done earlier in the week, the Mystery Movie Night podcast, where Sin's Corner and Corey of Wilkie's Movies and Music joined me for a spoilerific discussion of The Life of Chuck, a movie that we very highly recommended. Sin has not had the chance to see the movie yet, so I'm really looking forward to what her review is going to be. I think it's an excellent film. So please check that video out. I do very prominently put up the spoiler banner, so stay away from spoilers until you have seen the film, please. We also had Live from Sparkwood in 21, where I was joined by Troy Netter and Boomer as we watched the first half of the Spice Diver edit of Dune, David Lynch's 1984 Dune. And this version, I think, is probably closer to what he intended. Of all of the fan edits of his version of Dune, I do think it's the best one. And, my feelings about Dune are much different. About the David Lynch edition of Dune is very different from most. He's disowned the film. I understand that. It kind of got taken away from him and lost in the shuffle. But his film, and the theatrical edit, let's say, was my gateway into Dune. So I have a lot of respect for that film, and so I don't dump on it. I actually like it quite a bit. And the Spice Diver edit just takes what I thought was already a good movie and just makes it even better. So I'm having a lot of fun revisiting that edition of the film. And I understand that the Spice Diver edit is actually available on Blu-ray. So I'm definitely going to try and at some point in time find that. Now, earlier today, I joined Outlaw Bill for his Action Theater broadcast. And today was the first day, the first week of what we're calling James Bond June. And today we watched Moonraker from 1979 with Roger Moore. And it had been quite some time since I'd seen Moonraker. So it was almost like a first watch for me all over again. And it's a lot of fun. It is bat crap insane, but it's everything that everybody likes about Bond. You have, hey, you put Bond in space, man. Now, most people will say that when a franchise goes out into space, that franchise is now jumping the shark. But it's like, Jason X, Leprechaun in space. I think one of the Fast and the Furious movies had a character launch a car into space briefly. It was like, I don't know, I didn't see it. But, The point is once you take a franchise into space, people start to think you've jumped the shark. However, the James Bond franchise is still very much with us. It did not jump the shark. It is still very much here. Um, Connie says, like the movie, Moonraker deviates a bit from the book. Yeah, and we talked about that during the show. Some of the differences between the book and the final film. Now, when I am on with Bill and I do like action theater or Western cinema, I have this little bit at the end that I have added to the broadcast where I go on to IMDb Pro and I go into the trivia section, go a little deeper, take a little bit of a deeper dive into the film. So yeah, we discussed that a little bit in the trivia section. There are definitely some differences, character changes, characters that are not in the film. Drax has like a second in command in the book. That character's not in the film. Willie Krebs, I believe, is the name. And apparently, there was an early version of the film that didn't get made, where they wanted Peter Lorre to be Drax's kind of little minion. And I think he kind of needed somebody like that. He needed like a little sidekick guy. But hey, they made the movie they made. It's a lot of fun. And one of the other reasons we watched the movie was something that JP brings up here in the chat. Braces or no braces? Okay, there's a character named Dolly who gets very close to the character of Jaws, played by Richard Kiel, who's a character who starts out as a villain in, spoiler alert for like a nearly 50-year-old movie. He kind of joins Bond's side because there's a point in it where he's kind of had it with Drax. He's like, I think Bond's the way to go. I think it was mostly. It's also partially because he's found love, And then you have the other part where he just fails so many times to kill Bond that he just kind of decides, if I can't beat him, join him. But anyway, so Jaws has this kind of little blonde love interest, Dolly, I believe was her name. And I've been calling her Dolly all day, so I'm misnaming the character, my bad. And there seems to be this back and forth of, was her character wearing braces or not? Now, when I first saw the movie many, many years ago, decades ago, I thought she was. But watching it today, I didn't notice any. So I think it's like one of those weird Mandela effect things, man, that people think they're seeing braces, and because it would kind of make sense for her to have them. And that wouldn't be something that Jaws would be freaked out by, because he just has a mouthful of fucking metal. But, I didn't notice any, so I'm going to go with no braces officially, as of the version that I saw today. And granted, I was watching on a computer screen from Cosme, so it's not the clearest of pictures, but I didn't see any braces, JP. So I'm going to go with no. So we answered that question today. All right. And it was because of Star Wars we got Moonraker. Absolutely. With my implants, I feel like Jaws. Wow. The scrolls. Yeah, that's what I call it, consulting the scrolls. I just finished reading The Spy Who Loved Me. That movie really deviated from the book. Yeah, I'm assuming most of them do. Um, I am actually listening to an audio version of The Man with the Golden Gun, and it's read by Kenneth Branagh. And I've listened to like the opening few chapters, and none of the material from those first few chapters are in that film. None of them. Now, and I'm not like the expert on the books that Boomer is, but from the way that they're talking, my guess is "You Only Live Twice" is like the story that comes before that. Um, because in The Man with the Golden Gun, they're talking about, because the idea is that Bond at the beginning is presumed dead from the previous mission, and from what they describe of that previous mission, it kind of sounds like You Only Live Twice to me. But I could be completely wrong, and I'm just conflating the films with the books. But the point is they're very suspicious of Bond because at the beginning, because he's supposed to be dead from this previous mission, and even Moneypenny is kind of very leery of him, and so they're kind of in the middle of that. So they haven't even gotten to Scaramanga yet. Now here's something that I heard that's very interesting. Boomer, no, Boomer says I'm no expert. In fact, I'm listening to them like yourself. Yeah, but you're a one up on me, Boomer, and the fact that you actually have read more of the books than I have, or listened to more of the books certainly than I have. Now, here's the thing that I heard that to me was interesting, and again, let's see this as kind of like the rumor. That's kind of like rumor control. All right. Now, the story that I heard is that the first Amazon James Bond film is going to be a remake of The Man with the Golden Gun. And that Henry Cavill is going to play Bond. And he is going to be available to do the film because he's going to drop out of Highlander because they're dragging their feet getting that started. Now, I have also heard the rumor that they are looking at Antonio Banderas to play Scaramanga. They're looking at him. They're considering him. He has not been approached. That's the rumor I've heard. Now, the director is allegedly going to be Alfonso Cuarón. And I can see Banderas agreeing to work with him as director because they've done films like that before. So we'll see. Now the other thing heard was that the sticking point between Barbara Broccoli, Michael Wilson, and Amazon was the fact that they didn't want to remake any of the previous films. That was kind of the sticking point between them and Amazon. Now, I don't know if any of that is true. It's just, it's rumor, it's smoke mirrored stuff. I do not have like sources or anything like that. But I'm thinking that's a good jumping off point. I would be down for that if that would shoot. I'm more hyped for this movie that might not actually be real over movies that I know are coming out. So I don't know. Well, we'll see. If there's some announcement that officially that Cavill has signed on his bond for Amazon's upcoming James Bond films. Hey, well, great. I'm down. Let's do it while he still can. Um, and if Banderas is going to be Scaramanga and if Cuarón's going to direct, I am down, man. I'm curious. I want to see. Um, and I heard a similar sort of story. I'm going off on a tangent here, but we will get to the rest of the show, folks. But another thing, and again, just rumor, I don't know if this is actually happening, was that the people who did The Offer, which was about the making of The Godfather on Paramount Plus, I'm hearing a rumor that they want to do a sequel to that, but about the making of The Shining. And that they're going to, and that the cast is going to be Paul Giamatti as Stanley Kubrick, Jason Schwartzman as Stephen King, Anya Taylor-Joy as Shelley Duvall, and they're going to get Ray Nicholson to play his dad. Now, again, I don't know if that is actually happening or if that's just rumor or somebody's wishful thinking, but damn, man, I'm down. I'm all for it. And, say what you want about Stephen King, and I'm not a big fan of the man's politics, and I think he has an overall kind of shitty attitude of the world. But, he's very popular right now. A lot of his books are being adapted into films and series. I just saw The Life of Chuck, which is based on a short story of his. I think it's one of the best movies of the year. It might very well be the best movie of the year so far. I think it's that good. He had The Monkey that was out earlier this year. It's based on another one of his stories. They got The Long Walk getting ready to come out, which was one of the Bachman books. I think there's like another movie based on one of his books that's come. The Running Man. They're redoing The Running Man with Glenn Powell starring and Edgar Wright directing. That's supposed to be closer to the source material. Mike Flanagan, who just did Life of Chuck, is going to do a Carrie series. He's going to do The Dark Tower is a series, which I think it should have been a series from the jump. They never should have done that film that they made previous that Ron Howard was involved in. So yeah, I can kind of see Strike While the Iron is Hot. I can see both of those working. No, it's not about James Bond. Bond is going to come up again between now and the end of the show, but it's not a James Bond talk. I was just putting out the little tidbits that I knew of Edgar Wright. Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I'm curious to see how Running Man turns out. All right. Well, let's get to back to the lineup. Um, those were the shows from earlier in the week and today, of course, coming attractions, which we are currently watching. Now, as of right now, I don't have anything planned for Saturday, which does not mean that I am not going to appear somewhere or or that I am or that I'm not going to be um, appearing on any programs. I'm just merely stating that right now I don't have anything planned. I'm probably going to be on the second half of Bill's karaoke show, um, which will be for everybody either late Saturday or very early Sunday. I usually show up in the second half of the show to say, "Oh, come on for a few rounds, sing very terribly, and then move on with my day." But Sunday is going to be a little bit busier, and that's when we have Western Cinema um, at 4 p.m. And that's when I am going to be joining Bill once again, and we are watching the third Gunsmoke made-for-TV movie entitled "To the Last Man." And of course, you have James Arness returning as a former Marshal, Matt Dillon. And as you see there, Pat Hingle, who is Commissioner Gordon in the Tim Burton Batman, appears in that as well. I think the actress that plays Matt's daughter also returns in this film. It's been a while since I've seen it. I have not seen it since from back in the day. So I am really looking forward once again to kind of revisiting this movie. Gunsmoke. Classic, classic Western, and I'm really looking forward to giving these movies a look because I have a lot of fun kind of revisiting some of these older films. Um, I tell you, Bill obviously has an extensive library, and he on occasion even comes up with movies even I haven't heard of. You know, but we'll watch them and I'll like them. You know, I'm and that's what makes me happy that that Bill kind of invited me to co-host the show. And for those of you who kind of don't know the story, uh, I did not start out like as a co-host. I was just like a guest that was on for a few episodes. And this is back when Bill was doing the show with Son of a Red Shirt and on occasion Mr. CCDV, who's very steeped in Western film and lore, and was really handy whenever we were watching biographies based on kind of real life people like Wild Bill or Wyatt Earp and stuff like that, because he's very much aware of of the real life history. So I was just having fun being on the show, and then eventually, real life intruded, and Red Shirt, God bless your Red Shirt, he passed, and Mr. CCDV kind of decided to back off of the whole YouTube thing for a while, and so I kind of had to fill those shoes. and they're big shoes to fill. You know, but I do what I can to bring, a little bit of levity to the show, and just have a good time, and kind of enjoy myself, and have fun watching a movie, and hanging out with Bill, somebody who's has a love of film that equals, and in some cases even rivals mine. So it's a fun broadcast, guys, and so join us, 4 p.m. on Sunday for Western Cinema Presents Gunsmoke to the Okay, now once every live stream, I yeet myself from my own stream just to see if y'all are paying attention, or I don't want to admit that I hit the wrong button. So yeah, I am back. I am back, folks. All right, just give me a minute to share screen once again, and we can get back to what I was talking about, which is Western Cinema Presents June 8th, Sunday, June 8th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Gunsmoke to the Last Man. All right. Now, later on that night is my show, Unscripted. And thank you very much to Fletcher Williams for kind of being Johnny on the spot tonight, and making this thumbnail on the fly for me here. This is episode 111 of Unscripted. And this is currently my longest running live program. And I go into a number of topics. Some of them are fun. Some of them are like Q&A shows where I allow you, the chat, to come on and kind of ask me questions and whatnot, and you kind of take over the show. But every once in a while, I hit on a serious subject, and I am looking at this situation in Boulder, Colorado, and I'm going to call it what it is: a terrorist attack. And the fact that the mainstream media seems to be doing everything possible to not properly report this story, and that they seem to not want to call it what it is, and that they want to misrepresent this attack for being something that it's not. And this is not the first time that they've done it. This is not the first time that I've done an episode about the mainstream media and why I think journalism in this country is dead as far as the legacy media is concerned. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit more of a serious episode. I'm pretty sure YouTube is going to try to hide it, but I'm going to be talking about a subject that I think people need to hear. Thank goodness no one was killed out there. This could have been a very different story. But people were injured. The terrorist himself set himself on fire. As you can see, he is injured here in this shot of him. But yeah, I do not like the way that this attack is being reported. I don't like how several other stories are being reported or being misrepresented. And that's going to be what Unscripted is going to be about this week. And yeah, it's a serious subject, but that's what Unscripted is about. I pick a subject and it's basically a stream of consciousness from there. And like I said, it's not always serious. It's not always political, but hey, I cannot let this go without speaking out. So yeah, it's going to be a more serious show than I would like it to have been, but I can't let this one go, guys. Um, you're good people. I believe you're being lied to in this situation by the mainstream press, but I'm not going to treat you like that because you don't deserve it. So yeah, this is not going to be a sunshine and lollipops episode, guys. But I do hope that you will join me there Sunday, 8 p.m. for Unscripted. Now, right after that is H Boomer's show, Geeky Geezers. You will be autodramatically redirected, as Troy says, over to Boomer's channel as he and Troy discuss the kind of their weekend. That's kind of like their weekend review program. And I am going to be there in the chat with y'all. I'm going to watch the show. Now, ordinarily after that, I have a program called Reserved Seats, which before the rebranding, I used to call The Other Side of Midnight. Now, there will be no reserved seats this week. However, I do have guests lined up for the next 2 weeks. And next week on this program, I will let you know who those guests are. But no show, no midnight show this week. But it will return for the next 2 weeks. And I think I got 2 of my best shows coming up because I've got some of my favorite guests who are going to be returning, and perhaps even someone who will be making a first-time appearance on that program. I don't want to say who, but there's someone that I'm hoping I'll be able to bring on in 2 weeks' time, who's a lot of fun and really cool. And I hope we'll be able to do the show because it'll be their first time appearing on reserved seats. So okay, so that's Sunday. There is no mystery movie this week. The last 3 weeks there have been mystery movies. This week, no mystery movie. So that means I am going to be heading on over to Troy's channel for Last Call Members Night at the Movies. Don't know what that movie is going to be yet. Could be Rocky, could be Vision Quest. We'll see. I understand Troy's going to have a poll up here in the next couple of days, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll be there, man, regardless of what the movie is going to be. Now, since there's no mystery movie, there's no mystery movie night podcast this time around. However, as usual, we'll be live from Sparkwood in 21. And here we will be completing the Spice Diver edit of Dune, the David Lynch 1984 Dune. This will be Tuesday, June 10th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Right after that, you will be redirected to Troy's channel for his Blake 7 rewatch. I believe they are in episode 6 of season 3. And I think this is the volcano episode, but we'll see. We'll see. So that's Tuesday night, live from Sparkwood in 21 and Blake 7 over on Troy's channel. All right. Now that gets us to next week's episode of Action Theater. Like I said, back at its new time. Not new time. Back at our original time, day and time, Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And next week's movie is going to be Roger Moore returning as James Bond for Your Eyes Only. Now, this one, I couldn't remember if I saw Moonraker in theaters or not. I would like to say that I did, but I'm not positive on it. But For Your Eyes Only, I did see in theaters. It was the first Bond film that I remember seeing in theaters. So I've got a pretty good memory of this one, and I'm really looking forward to it. This is, of course, film number 2 in our James Bond June, as we're calling it. And that is also to include on the 19th, GoldenEye, on the 26th, with Timothy Dalton and License to Kill. And we're going to do an extra James Bond as Extra Dose comes back Saturday, the 28th at 3:30, and we're going to be watching Casino Royale. And of course, since Bill already has this up, Kai July will begin July the 3rd. And we are going to be watching Godzilla -1 minus color. That will begin our Kai July broadcast on Action Theater. And we've also got a few ideas coming up for what we're going to do in August as well. All right. Welcome to the Cowman Show. New face, Good to see you. Um, this is a coming attractions, a show I do every Thursday night for my channel for the next week or so. Um, Regular shows, appearances I'm going to be making on other channels. Like, for example, I am going to be joining Big Al Presents over on his channel for Films with Friends on the 13th and the 20th. I am going to be joining him on the 13th for Friday the 13th, the final chapter, aka They Lied. Of course, that film starring Corey Feldman as Tommy Jarvis. Outlaw Bill is also going to be joining me for that show. And on the 20th, which is my birthday, I am going to be celebrating with Al and Soundtracks with Birdman as we watch the 50th anniversary edition of Jaws. And both of those films will begin at 8 p.m. So please join us there. I broke up. Uh-oh. Well, I hope everybody can hear me okay now. All right. So that is the lineup for the next week, and a little bit of a sneak peek into what's going to be coming up in the coming weeks. Like I said, the 20th is my birthday, so since I am going to be most likely working during the day, and then I'm going to have the show with Al later on that night. I am planning a birthday celebration show for the 21st, Saturday the 21st, and it's going to be a double celebration. Well, really a triple celebration. It's going to be celebrating not only my birthday, but also 3 years on YouTube. I blew past both of my YouTube anniversaries. March 3rd was 3 years of the creation of this channel, and the 31st of March was the 3-year anniversary of the first live stream that I ever did. So we're going to be celebrating that and celebrating the fact that I did cross 5,000 subs. So it's going to be celebrating a few milestones. And I hope that you will all be able to join me for that show. I'm going to send some people the link once it's up to kind of come on if you can and say hello and celebrate with me for a couple or 3 hours on Saturday the 21st. And I do know that on the 22nd, I am going to do my on unscripted Sunday night, the 22nd at 8 p.m. I am going to be doing my best of 2025 so far. And so look forward to that. So that's some of the other programming that I'm going to have coming up here for the channel. So there's going to be plenty going on, folks. you're going to be seeing a lot of me in the next month. All right. So that is the pretty much the show for this evening. Uh, I do want to thank me for gifting out memberships. Now, your names. Those of you who are going to be new, this is something that I found out that we can do. That we can gift out memberships on our own channels. So I think you have like a limit of 10 a month or something. I'm looking into it, but yeah, uh, those that will be um, receiving memberships tonight. Our friend from across the pond. You know him from our rewatch shows, Words and Pictures. Our pal Usarn G also received the membership, as well as the Clue Studio. Captain Fandom Nerd, long time no see, sir. And a name I'm seeing for the first time, Gate of Marvel. So, welcome. You have been gifted memberships. All right. So, that is the show for this evening. I do want to thank all of my new subscribers for joining us. All of the new ones. I do want to thank everyone currently following along on X and Rumble. Congratulations to everyone who won memberships this evening. I am going to add your name to the rolls. Normally, I don't go this long with this show. Usually, it's about a half hour, 40 minutes. But I just wanted to take my time and just kind of hang out with you guys and say hello. Yes, hugs to Cassie the Beautiful, indeed. Honorary mascot of this channel, Cassie. All right. I was rooting for you, Lizzie. Well, maybe next time. All right. So I do want to thank everyone who joined me here on the show. I want to thank those of you in the chat. Connie, Curtis, Lizzie, Tim, JP, the Cowman Show, welcome. Mark Melnikoff, our resident Klingon. Aged Boomer. I know we had Netter here in the chat with us earlier. Yes, we did. Nothing to See Here Citizen, which of course is Curtis's second channel. Also the lovely Sherry. Well, a long time no see. My partner in crime, Outlaw Bill. Real Wade Nation Gaming Clips. Please subscribe to all of these great channels. And as I say at the end of every show, good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy. Because this is how we win. Now, I'm going to do something a little bit different for the ending tonight. A little experiment, and we're going to see if this works. I am going to stay on Rumble for a few minutes. I know that those of you there are a few of you that are already there. The link to the Rumble stream is in the chat. So let's try a little experiment. Let's see if we can get the show going a little bit longer and say hello over there on Rumble. Now I am going to be switching over to a piece of music that YouTube is going to make me cut, but Rumble won't. And then we're going to close out, and then we're going to see if this works. Squirrel. All right. From HQ, good night. And if this works, well, I'll catch you over on the green machine.